So, hello students, how are you all? I hope your preparation is going well. And now, today I am here with four new very important topics to add to your preparation. And please focus on all these topics because at last we shall be having a very important practice question. And from today, we will do one thing. Uh, we will add two important places in news. So no, every day I will be giving important two or three important places in news. So in that way, you will be preparing your maps topic also. And first of all, you have to see the location of those places, and after that, you have to read the important prelims related facts. So in that way, you will be preparing the maps related questions also, and geography or environment or IR related questions also. So from today, we will start it. Okay, so today we shall be discussing important topics of 16th March. So, what shall we be discussing today? First important. Well, I hope so here, first very important article is related to countries which are no recently which were recently included in BRICS. They are also involved in West Asia conflict. So this was in news. Last important article is related to Ahar, which is one of the largest food festival in India. So this took place in New Delhi. So no, just like the direct objective type of question or questions, it can be asked in state PSCs. Then we'll be having a very surprising practice question. So please focus on what all we are discussing. And finally, as I have already discussed, two or three important places I would be giving. Then you have to read about those places and you have to see the location. So let's start with first very article, that is the Essential Commodities Act. So what is the context? This act was invoked by the government of India because of the West Asia crisis and because of the no crisis related to essential commodities India is facing, like LPG or other kind of items. So we shall be discussing about the summary, what all news is talking about. So as we know that because of the conflict in West Asia and because of the disruptions of shipment in the Strait of Hormuz, see this location of Strait of Hormuz is very very important from exam point of view. We have already discussed in our previous lectures, but no, every day, every 2 or 3 days, please go through the Strait of Hormuz and locations near the Strait of Hormuz. So the article is saying that because of the conflict in West Asia, because of the disruptions of the shipment through the Strait of Hormuz, India is facing the crisis of natural gas as well as LPG supply. Because no, in news also you might have seen whenever you are calling gas agency, no, you are not able to book for the LPG cylinder, and no people are standing in front of the gas agency. No, so this all shows the crisis of fuel or natural gas in India. So because of that, what government has done, government has invoked Essential Commodities Act 1955. So two things government has done. First of all, government has invoked the provision of Essential Commodities Act. Secondly, the Ministry of Petroleum has issued Natural Gas Order 2026. So two things government has done to deal with this crisis. And what all things happened under this? Under this Natural Gas Order 2026, the government has prioritized the supply of gas to essential sectors. Like no, we know that there is a crisis of natural gas or fuel in India, but then also you have to prioritize the sector. That which are those sectors where we cannot miss the supply of these natural gas or oil. So sectors are prioritized in this order. So first of all, the sectors to which we have allotted the highest priority is the domestic piped natural gas industries and manufacturing units. And fourth priority is given to commercial and industrial users. So no, this prioritization of the sector shows that in the time of crisis, what all sectors government has to prioritize. So no, when there was time of COVID-19, so there also you might have seen no, all other shops were shut down, but the dairy sector, the medicine shops, all these shops is no, even then they were open. So these all things show that in case of emergency, what all government should prioritize. Let's discuss the basic provisions related to Essential Commodities Act. So, what is the purpose of this act? Its purpose is to control the production, supply, manufacturing, distribution in the interest of public. So, here the keyword is in the interest of public. What will be go? What all things are good for the public? Government will do all those things. And what are the provisions of this act? So, if government is invoking Essential Commodities Act, then what all commodities are essential under the act? No, for those commodities, government can prevent the hoarding, the black marketing, and government can regulate the distribution. Because since the word only says that those commodities are essential, so we cannot give those kind of commodities in hand of any private entity. Government has to regulate because it is in the interest of the public. So no one can hoard because no, if you are stocking the essential commodities, then eventually the prices will rise, the inflation will increase, and hence it will hurt the interest of the general public. So government can prevent the hoarding, can prevent the black marketing, and if hoarding and black marketing is prevented, obviously the prices will be controlled, and government also regulate the distribution. So please remember all these keywords. UPSC can directly ask the question in prelims. After that, what all commodities are no considered as essential under the act. So this is very important. So first of all, who is the entity to decide what all commodities will be essential? So that entity is central government. So central government can. Now, as we were discussing about the Essential Commodities Act 1955, so we have to discuss the amendment also because just a second, just a second. Recently, regulating any commodity recently regulating any commodity no then no regulating any commodity no investor or no business will invest in this food business because every time there will be fears no that since government is regulating so no any kind of thing can happen because it may impact their business interest also. So that's why after our purpose was served, then government amended the act and removed several agricultural commodities so that private entities can also enter the market. So what all commodities were entered removed? So they were like cereals, pulses, potatoes, onions, all these commodities were removed. Now, government can regulate these commodities only under the extraordinary situation. So, extraordinary situation like the war. So, at present, war in West Asia, war, famine, natural calamity. So, COVID-19 was also some extraordinary situation. So, after the emergency situation has been dealt with, government can remove the regulation. So, that's why government did these things in 2020. Now, briefly, let's discuss what is India's dependency on energy imports because now we are discussing from many days about this energy imports, about essential commodity, right? So, let's discuss India's dependency. So, first of all, natural gas requirement. So, India needs around 200 million standard cubic meters per day, and about 50% of liquefied natural gas is imported. And since there are disruptions because of Strait of Hormuz, because of blockage in Strait of Hormuz, that means 50% of imports of liquefied natural gas are being impacted. And 50% of LNG imports are from West Asia itself. That's why India is facing this crisis of fuel and natural gas. Now, if we are talking about LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas, so that also India around 60% of LPG is imported, and around 80% of LPG comes from Strait of Hormuz. That's why this much problem in India. Now, since from many days we are discussing these terms LPG, LNG, CNG, piped natural gas, etc. So let's discuss briefly the basic difference between them so that no, you can easily answer in UPSC because the terms which are frequently in use UPSC generally ask them. So see, full form you know this. liquefied petroleum gas, liquefied natural gas, compressed natural gas, and piped natural gas. So see, this is a petroleum gas, and all these are the form of natural gas. So first important thing is petroleum gas is mainly made of propane and butane. These all are the hydrocarbons: methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane. All these are the hydrocarbons. So petroleum gas is made of propane and butane. On the other hand, natural gas or any component of natural gas, any form of natural gas is mostly made of methane. So that's why liquefied natural gas, methane; compressed natural gas, methane; piped natural gas, methane. Other important thing is that how they appear in physical form. So see, liquefied petroleum gas, the petroleum gas, you have to put a lot of pressure to liquefy it. To liquefy any gas, you have to put a lot of pressure. That's why they are liquefied under high pressure. Now, for to liquefy natural gas, you have to liquefy it by cooling. So it is liquefied by cooling. Compressed natural gas, you have to put a lot of pressure, hence it's called compressed natural gas. And piped natural gas are nothing but the gas which you are using in your households through pipelines. So they are the piped natural gas. Now, the major uses. So, for liquefied petroleum gas and piped natural gas, the major use is for the domestic household cooking only. So, they are used as cooking fuel in households. For liquefied natural gas, they are mainly used for transport and storage of natural gas across countries. And CNG, as you know, they are used in fuel vehicle. So, these are some of the basic differences. Yes, one more important thing. What is the source of all these things? So, source of petroleum gases. It is petroleum gas is obtained when you refine natural gas. One. And second, when you refine crude oil, so LPG is obtained. So how it is obtained? First, when you refine natural gas. Second, when you refine the crude oil, you get petroleum gas, that is liquefied petroleum gas. Now, how you get liquefied natural gas? So liquefied LNG. So when you cool down the natural gas to liquid form, you get LNG. CNG, as you know, when you compress natural gas, and PNG is nothing but natural gas supplied through pipelines to domestic households. Yes, a very important article from map point of view. So, context is the opposition in India is questioning the center's stance on Chabahar port. Why this topic of Chabahar port is being discussed? Because it is located in Iran and it is a major point from which India can enter Central Asia as well as Afghanistan. So that's why opposition is questioning, because center has not allocated any new funds in this budget for the development of Chabahar port. So let's discuss what all is given in article. So first of all, its location only. It's located in Oman. It's located in Iran on the Gulf of Oman. We shall be discussing with map also. And now it's important. Its importance is being discussed because India can access Afghanistan and Central Asia through this Chabahar port. And one important thing is India has invested around $120 million for port equipment. But now opposition is questioning that why India is not allocating more and more funds for this. So from exam point of view, okay. So first of all, we shall be seeing the location of Chabahar port. Okay. So this is Chabahar port. This is India. This is port of Kandla. This is Chabahar port, which is located in Iran. This is Gwadar port, which is located in Pakistan. And this is Gulf of Oman. So, Chabahar port, located in Iran, is located in Gulf of Oman. So, these respective or relative positions you have to remember. So it is located in southeastern Iran. As you can see, this is southeastern Iran on the Gulf of Oman near the Arabian Sea. So these keywords are very important with respect to location. It is the only Iranian port with direct access to Indian Ocean. Okay, so that's why from this point of view also it is important. It is only Iranian port with direct access to Indian Ocean. That's why India could easily use this port to go to Central Asia or Afghanistan. Now, who developed it? So it was developed with by Iran, by India, with Iran's cooperation. And objective, as we have already discussed, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So basically, it is controlled by China. So it is the only hope for India to go for to Central Asia or Afghanistan. So now, since it is located in Iran and Iran is already under conflict, that's why it is major problem for India. So the route works like this. Now, India, first of all, can go to Chabahar port, which is located to Iran. From Chabach, from so India will go from Chabahar port to Iran. It can go from Iran to Afghanistan, and from Afghanistan it can go to Central Asia. So in this way, India can improve, or India can improve the bilateral ties with Central Asia, with Afghanistan, and it will also improve the trade, regional connectivity, etc. Next important article is related to BRICS. So I think UPSC has already asked a question about the BRICS in 2025. And since some of the countries included in BRICS are involved in West Asia conflict, so because of that, this topic becomes again important. So maybe UPSC has asked some questions, but it will not ask this time. But other facts also you must remember about BRICS. So what is the context? Context is simple. India is facilitating negotiations within BRICS on West Asia conflict. And reason is various members of the BRICS are already part of West Asia conflict. So first of all, let's understand the news briefly. So see, as we know that West Asia conflict has created tensions even within the international organization, that is BRICS, because some of the countries involved like Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE are already the member of BRICS and they are part of West Asia conflict. So because of this, it has become difficult for the organizations to take a common position on the conflict. Like no, a few days back we discussed about G7. Now we are discussing about BRICS. So on this topic of West Asia, each and every organization is trying to take a stand or trying to support one country or the another. So that's why BRICS are also doing same thing. But since some of the countries are involved in the conflict, it is becoming very difficult to issue one single order. Now, here, as we know that India is currently the chair of BRICS. So, India is trying to facilitate a dialogue among the member countries through diplomatic channels. And what is that diplomatic channel? That we call it as Sherpa mechanism. So what is this Sherpa mechanism? See, there is a Sherpa, which is a senior government official which is appointed by each country. Now, what is the purpose of this Sherpa? What is the objective? So this Sherpa prepare the agenda for summits. It conducts the negotiations between the member countries and coordinate the diplomatic discussions. So India is using this Sherpa mechanism to facilitate a dialogue among the countries. And at the same time, India is engaging in bilateral diplomacy also. So, this is the gist of the news. Okay. So, from exam point of view, let's discuss some of the prelims related facts. So first important fact is about BRICS only, the about the member countries. Because I think UPSC has already asked about the member countries of G20. So that's why at least you must have an idea that countries from which region are part of BRICS. So earlier there were only five countries. It was easy to remember. Now in 2024 and 2025 new countries were added. That's why you must have an idea. So first of all, let's discuss the previous countries. So previous countries were Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So here Brazil, Russia. Oh, just a second. Yes. So here Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, what are the new additions? So new additions are Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and Iran. So earlier there were 5 countries, now 6 countries are more added. So now we have total 11 BRICS countries. So from these countries, Saudi, UAE, and Iran are already the part of conflict. So first important thing that now BRICS have 11 members. Earlier BRICS used to have 5 members. Second important thing is about the chair. So who is chair of BRICS at present? We already discussed that at present India is chair. That's why India is trying to facilitate a dialogue among the member countries. Now, if we talk about the headquarters, so see, BRICS is not a formal organization. It's an informal organization. That's why BRICS does not have any official headquarters. But BRICS have a financial institution that's what we call it as a National Development Bank. So National Development Bank has a headquarters. So you have to give answer in the comment section that what is the headquarters of National Development Bank. Now, what is the purpose of BRICS? So it serves as a political or diplomatic tool or forum for countries in the global south for coordination in various areas. So mainly focused for the countries in global south. Now, why this conflict in West Asia is affecting the BRICS countries. See, first of all, as we know that Iran is one of the member country of BRICS, and Iran is directly involved in the conflict. Second, Saudi Arabia and UAE have been targeted by Iranian attacks, and they are also members of the BRICS, and other members. Who are the other members? Other members such as India, China, etc. They are heavily dependent on the energy imports from West Asia. So because of this conflict in West Asia, each and every country is affected in some or the other way. So that's why it is becoming difficult for the BRICS countries to issue a unified statement. Now, uh, a very small news. Not much has to be remembered, but at least remember two, three important points. So it's about AHAR 2026. So basically, AHAR is International Food and Hospitality Fair, which took place in New Delhi. So it was the 40th edition of AHAR. So let's discuss here only briefly. So AHA is one of the largest food and hospitality exhibitions in South Asia, and it is organized every year by Ministry of Food Processing Industries and India Trade Promotion Organization. So who organizes it? It is organized by Ministry of Food Processing Industries, that is MOFPI, and India Trade Promotion Organization. So this comes under Ministry of Commerce. Okay, so what is the purpose of this event? This event brings together businesses across the food industries, like the manufacturers, hotels, restaurants, etc. etc. So, what is the purpose? It provides a platform where companies can showcase their product, their food products, etc., connecting with buyers and expanding the new markets. So, this is the main purpose. So, what all things you need to remember? First of all, it was the 40th edition of AHAR. Where it took place? It took place at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Who organized it? It was organized by Ministry of Food Processing Industries and India Trade Promotion Council. ITPO comes under Ministry of Commerce, not under Ministry of Food Processing. And it is one of South Asia's largest B2B platform. B2B, that means business to business, where the buying and selling of products is among the businesses only and not the retail consumers. So this was a very simple topic. Now, a practice question which I have discussed. So see, here this question is related to essential commodities at 1955. Consider the following statements. The Act allows the government to regulate the production, supply, and distribution of essential commodities. Second is the state government can add or remove commodities from the list of essential commodities. Third is agricultural commodities can be regulated only under extraordinary circumstances. So you have to provide me answer in the comment section, because if you have no gone through the article very seriously when we were discussing, so you can easily answer it. So please provide me answer in the comment section. So earlier I have asked about the headquarters of National Development Bank. This is the second question. You have to give two answers in the comment section. No, sorry, three. Now, as already said, that every day I will be giving some of the important places in news. So you have to look up for the location of Ambadongar, and second is about the Lake Natron. So first of all, you have to see the location on map, that where these locations are given, and second, know which country or which state you have to find out. You have to see the location. Secondly, you have to read about the facts, not just prelims related facts, so that it will help you to eliminate the option in the prelims. So three things you have to do about the headquarters of National Development Bank. Second, about the answer of practice question. And in comment section for these places, just give me the location. Rest all you read by yourself.